ladies and gentlemen, we've done it. We got it. We obtained the book. The book of all of the history of Duel Master's secrets lie in this book. Using this book, we are going to take you guys on a journey through time. We're going to visit all the past metagames throughout the entire history of English Duel Masters, starting with the base set and ending at Thrash of the Hybrid Megacreatures. Now, in this book is every single deck that ever saw play through the history of Duel Masters. Now, this is not just some random book I had lying around the house. No, this is a book of secrets of the entire history of Duel Masters' metagame, right? Using this book, we're going to take you all through this journey through time, showing you what the metagame actually looked like at different points in Duel Masters history.
But in this series, we're going to be playing with decks that might be a lot closer to what you might have seen in constructed Duel Masters. Ordinarily, how this series would work, we would take like a few select like meta decks to put on this wheel, and then we would randomly choose between them to get like a showcase of how two different meta decks might have played against one another. However, for the first episode with the base set, quite frankly, we have no idea what was meta or if there even really was a meta, because like this was just the first set of the game. Honestly, when it was just the base set that was out, there wasn't really time for like a community around the game to fully form yet because it was so new. And even if there was, like, no one really had the time to figure out how to even play the game, what was good and what wasn't. So basically, as for what the best decks are right now, we have no idea.
The year is 2004. Duel Masters is a brand new game that just released in stores. You pick up your 2-player starter set, you start building a deck, and you wonder, what's the best deck out there? What's winning tournaments? So you try to look it up online. But this is 2004, so you're on dial-up internet, right? Your internet's too slow to do anything, and now you're trying to find the decks, but guess what? There's no tournaments, there's no deck lists, you don't know what's good, so what kind of deck are you gonna make? Well, it depends on what you pulled in your packs, and that is what the base set metagame really looked like. This was the Wild West of Duel Masters. Tournaments weren't really around yet, so people were kind of just building various decks based around the cards that they just happened to have. In order to try to relive this Wild West era of making use of what you got, we're going to be playing the first duel of the history of Duel Masters using a random wheel spin. This is going to tell us what colors we have to build our deck with using only cards from the base set.
Anyways, let's just spin the wheel and see what colors we get. So give it a few spins, and for the first one, looks, well, just my luck. We've got nature. Okay. So anyways, nature is our first civilization. Let's give it a few more spins to see what our second is. And we can use like 3 and 4 color decks also, by the way. It's just we have to use these 2 civilizations. Anyways, alright, we've got light here, so we're going to be playing something with nature and light. Honestly, this might be one of the worst color combinations possible, but I'll see what we can do with this.
So let's just spin and see what we can get to play in duel number 1 of the history of Duel Masters. Let's see what we got. The wheel is spinning. I'm hoping for like darkness water maybe is probably the best. But honestly, I'm not too upset about light. That's pretty good. With light, we are going to get access to just tons of good blockers and Holy Oz. Can't complain about that. Now let's spin for our second color to be played with light. What are we hoping for? Honestly, probably darkness, just so we get some hard removal, but nature gives us access to natural snare, so I'm not too upset about that. Let's build a light nature deck and see what we can come up with.
Okay, so here's the deck we're taking to today's episode. We are playing Light Water Nature Tempo. The basic idea of a deck like this is that somehow in the early game to mid game, we want to reach a position where we have an advantage over our opponent on the board, basically. And we want to then be able to press that advantage to basically close out the game as quickly as possible from that point. And so in order to do that, we have sort of 2 game plans going on in this deck. The first is that we have a ramp package with Poisonous Mushroom and Bronze Arm Tribe. and we can ramp into some of our bigger cards, like for example Deathblade Beetle, which is the cheapest double breaker that we have access to in the base set. And so if we can drop this and Ben can't deal with it, this is going to be able to close out the game pretty quickly. And then aside from that, we have tons of cards that basically make it a lot harder for our opponent to deal with our Deathblade Beetle or whatever our creatures on board might be. So first we have 4 Poisonous Mushroom. This is a 2-mana creature, which is going to be important for a deck like this because we are trying to get to the board quickly. This one can also allow us to put a card from our hand into our mana zone, and so this is a way to ramp us quickly into like Deathblade Beetle, for example, also. Next we have 2 Rio Soul the Oracle. This doesn't really have a specific purpose in this deck, but when constructing this, I thought I just needed a few more 2-drop creatures, because again, we do want to be developing our board relatively quickly in a deck like this. And also I needed a few more light cards in order to get the color counts in the deck to even out correctly. Next we have a few early blockers. We have 2 Emerald Grass and 1 Cenotine Jade Tree. These are just ways to protect our other creatures essentially. Like if we're attacking with Deathblade Beetle, it is going to be a bit vulnerable on defense. Next we have 4 Aqua Hulkus and 4 Bronze Arm Tribe. Just absolutely insane value cards for all of Duel Master's lifespan. Aqua Hulkus draws you a card when it enters the battle zone, and Bronze Arm Tribe gets you a mana from the top of your deck when you put it into the battle zone. And especially for a deck like this, it's putting a creature on board while also giving us more resources to put more creatures onto the board later on. So just a really, really good card here. In particular, Bronze Arm Tribe, also the curve of Bronze Arm Tribe into Deathblade Beetle, I think is going to be quite strong. Next we have 2 Miel Vizier of Lightning. This taps a creature when it enters the battlefield, so we can use this in a few different ways. One, we can just tap down a blocker and use that to clear the way for some of our attackers. Also, we can use this as a method of like board control, like I was saying earlier. Tap down their creature and then kill it with something else. So it's a pretty flexible card here. Next we have 4 Unicorn Fish. This card is just absolutely insane for a tempo deck like this. When it enters the battlefield, we can bounce 1 creature in the battle zone to its owner's hand. And so it's simultaneously developing our own board while setting back Ben on board, because we're adding a creature to the battle zone and taking one of his creatures out of the battle zone. Next, 4 Deathblade Beetle, a cheap double breaker that can end the game quickly. Next, we have 3 Spiral Gate, a shield trigger that takes a creature out of the battle zone is not bad. Also, just this is a really, really cheap way to get a creature off of the battlefield, which again, when we're playing a tempo deck like this, is going to be really important. 2 Brain Serum, this can draw us cards in case we're running out of gas. Next, we have 2 Teleportation. It basically bounces 2 creatures on the battle zone and returns them to their owner's hands. And so again, this is just a really, really important tempo play. Say, for example, we play a Bronze Arm Tribe turn 3 and Deathblade Beetle turn 4. Ben is going to be playing creatures also to try and combat our board, basically. Like, say he plays a blocker or 2 to try and deal with that. But then if we follow that up with, like, a teleportation, suddenly Ben has no creatures on board and he's going to be way behind. Next we have 3 Natural Snare, just a staple nature shield trigger card. Shield triggers are just good in general, also this is targeted removal in nature. It does make the creature go to the mana zone, but really the important thing with this card is just it's a way to remove the creature from the battle zone. And then finally we have 3 Holy Awe. This is also one of the strongest shield triggers in the game. Light, 6 mana, tap all of your opponent's creatures in the battle zone. So this is just really, really good both on offense and defense. On defense, if it's in the shields, it just immediately stops any further attacks that the opponent was trying to do to you. And so basically this can save you no matter how many creatures your opponent has. Also on offense, this card is really, really good. It can just tap down all of Ben's blockers to clear the way for us to swing for game. Or if it's some like board stall type of situation, we can tap down all of Ben's creatures and then attack all of his creatures and just wipe his field. Anyways, yeah, so that's the deck here. I don't really know what to expect. If I'm being honest, I don't really think this type of deck is actually the strongest thing we could be doing in the base set, but I'm trying to do what we can, considering we did spin Nature and Light. Anyways, I'm really excited to see how this does. Let's hop into the games and see what happens.
This is what I came up with for my light nature-based base set deck. Now, in this meta, it's really difficult to deal with things that have high power, and so high power creatures just become what the meta is. Can you get out your big beaters before your opponent and beat them down? Then you win. So we're going to be taking advantage of the fact that Light has big blockers to kind of stop those heavy hitters, while at the same time, Nature has access to some of the hardest hitting beaters in the game. Now, it didn't feel like it was going to be that good with just Light and Nature, so I threw Water in there just to give me a little bit more card draw and just get me to not lose out on advantage early. So the idea in the end is pretty simple. Use Water and Nature to just build pure advantage through card draw and mana ramp. Then use Light and Nature cards that just have more power than anything else in the game and win from there. So we're going to be rocking 2 Cenotine Jade Trees, just a decent blocker for early game. I feel like Rush is probably not that good in this format because like big blockers are pretty good and speed attackers don't exist. We've got 4 Aqua Hulkus, pretty simple, draw cards, 4 Bronze Arm Tribe. Like these 2 cards are just so sick in the base set because it just gives you the +1. There's not that many other cards that just let you get like a +1 in card advantage like these 2 do. So they're very key in any deck that's playing Water or Nature. You're probably going to see 4 copies of these at this point in Duel Masters history. Then we've got like just a lot of just other light blockers, like 3 Dianork Moonlight Guardian, 2 Subskin Twilight Guardian, and 4 Grangur Space Guardian. Now Grangur is just insane because 9k power is insanely hard to get through when you're only limited to base set cards, so you may as well be rocking as many of those as you can. On top of that, we're also using 2 Deathblade Beetle, just because I wanted like a pretty strong beat stick that I can get out just early if I need to. The main beat stick we're going to be running with though is 4 copies of Roaring Greathorn, because at this point in Duel Masters history, this is as strong as it gets. Like this can kill anything in the entire game, and the only thing it really loses to would be an Astro Comet Dragon if you, the Astro Comet Dragon is attacking you back. But because I have light blockers, I can just block those hard hits, and like Roaring Greathorn just becomes insanely powerful. If you can get this thing out, you probably already won the game. On top of that, we are going to be using 2 Aqua Snipers, just because this card is absolutely crazy at this point in Duel Masters history. You get to get rid of 2 cards temporarily, and keep in mind, even though it's just bounce, this is at a point in time where come into play effects aren't that great. Like, sure, you've got the Aqua Hulkuses and Bronze Arms, but you're not really worried about them anyways, especially when you're running blockers, so you're probably not even bouncing them. But just imagine your opponent has like the Roaring Greathorns, the Bullshock Dragons, the Gatling Sky Terrors, that kind of thing on the field. You just drop Aqua Sniper, you set them back 2 turns. There's no speed attackers, they can't just drop something down and start attacking with it. Like, it's so good to have bounce, especially on 2 creatures at once. And just to back it up, it's got a 5k body, that is not bad, and is great for putting pressure in the end game. We're rocking 2 Spiral Gates just for like target removal. I also am rocking the 4 Natural Snares as like our main removal, but Spiral Gate is pretty good too. Ideally, Natural Snare will just completely remove it because there's not any ways to get things back from your mana zone yet. And Spiral Gate is just temporary, which is why I only went with 2. 3 copies of Brain Serum just to like draw more cards. This is another one of those rare +1s that you can get in the base set. Same thing with Ultimate Force, like if turn 5 comes around, you could just play this and then you don't have to play mana, and then you're still set up to come in on the next turn with your Roaring Greathorns or whatever other beat sticks you happen to have in your hand. Holy Awe is just ridiculous, especially in this deck because we are focused on the heavy hitters. Like, we've got the Roaring Greathorns, we got the Grangurs, we got the Deathblade Beetles. We should be able to just board wipe every time we get the Holy Awe, so this card is going to be insane. And it's super strong in your shields, especially during the base set. And of course, like we talked about, the Natural Snare. Let's see what Michael brings. Let's see what he rolled on the wheel. I don't know what it's going to be, but I don't know. This deck looks pretty cool. Let's jump in and see how it plays. Welcome everybody to the History of Duel Masters Episode 1. Michael, how does it feel? We're back at the base set.
I mean, it feels pretty good, especially like now that we're actually playing like a constructed format. I can play like a playset of Terror Pit or a playset of Natural Snare or whatever all these rares that we pulled 1 or 0 of in the progression.
Yeah, and you don't have to like. Not only that, we don't have to pray every week to RNGesus, hoping that the pack opener gives us like a couple good cards.
Yeah.
So this series, pretty much what we're going to do is we're going to walk you guys through the entire history of Duel Masters, showing you the decks that were winning tournaments at the time, and like what kind of matchups you could expect to see if you showed up to a tournament back in 2004, back in 2005. And so today we're going to start it off with the base set. However,
what did tournaments look like in the base set, Ben?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like there weren't really tournaments. If you think about it, like the only tournament that really would have happened would have been like the mall tour tournaments, and like that was more of just like an introducing players to the game kind of event rather than like a full-on constructed tournament. So the first big tournament that actually happened would have been like Gen Con 2004, but that wasn't even until Evo Crushionators was out. So we don't really have like historic deck lists to go on. So we just decided to spin the wheel to make sure we get like a little bit of a different looking deck, and we just built our own like version of what the metagame might have looked like had there been like a high stakes tournament back with the base set.
Quite honestly, like even if we did have deck lists from around this time, like I haven't looked at them, so I don't know, but I honestly suspect that like almost every deck, it's not gonna be like a, oh, this is my refined water darkness control deck or whatever. It's gonna be like, these are 40 cards that I own and I'm putting them into a pile and playing
Yeah,
them.
Exactly. It's very rough around the edges. I'll just slap a few of them up like here and here on the screen if you guys want to see what a deck actually looked like, but those stink, so we're not gonna play those. We are instead gonna just build these constructed decks. You saw the profiles. Without further ado, we're going to jump in. I'm not going to lie to you guys. We started recording this and I got to start the recording, so we already rolled the dice. Michael won the die roll. You could choose first or second.
Yeah, okay. I honestly have no idea what's right in this metagame. Like, it's way slower than anything else.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'm going to go first. I don't know if that's the right play or
Okay, I think it might be, but I don't know. You get to your stuff faster, but does it matter in the end? I don't know. Best of luck in this episode 1.
This is the classic dilemma of like, there's the right play and there's the play that doesn't give too much away. Yeah, we're gonna do the right play. We're gonna send Deathblade Beetle to the mana zone.
Ooh.
End the turn.
All right, I dig it. I'm gonna draw a card. All right, I see where this matchup is going. I'm gonna charge my Natural Snare and end the turn. Which honestly, like, that might be a mistake because maybe you need to save your removal in this format.
Right.
I just hope we didn't spin the same 2 colors at this point.
Yeah, well, I'll send Brain Serum to mana and end.
All right, well, I will draw a card. I will send. Ooh. I will send Brain Serum to mana and I'll end my turn.
Yep. Okay. We've done a good job of avoiding mirror matches, I see.
Hey, there could still be 3rd colors. It's possible.
Well, I am gonna play a 3rd color here.
Oh, okay.
This not the best card, but we're gonna send Ryosol the Oracle to the mana zone.
Oh no.
And we'll play a card that's a bit better. We'll play a good old Aqua Hulkus.
All right.
And go ahead.
I'm gonna draw a card. This is gonna be a match. That's what I'm gonna say. This is gonna be a match. I'm gonna play
Ryosol the Oracle.
No, not Ryosol the Oracle.
You're playing that card.
I'm gonna play Aqua Hulkus to mana. And I'm gonna run out the Bronze Arm Tribe, sending my Granger space card.
Okay.
So we spun a wheel to make sure there was no mirror match, and it looks like we're playing Light Water Nature, Light Water Nature.
Yep. Well, it's actually a bit of a tough call here. Yeah, I'd guess we do this. I'll send Poisonous Mushroom to the mana zone, and we will. Yeah, we'll bounce your Bronze Arm Tribe with Unicorn Fish. Unicorn Fish is another card. Like, we could just play 4 of this, and I think we had 1 copy between us in the progression series.
Yeah, and I used it maybe
really
one
useful
time.
Card.
It's
But,
good. Especially, like, removal is hard to come by right now.
Yeah. Aqua Hulkus is going in.
Alright.
Go ahead.
Another thing that I talked about in my deck profile is, like, in this format, bounce is actually, like, really good.
Yeah, I think bounce is good in base set, actually. Like, really good.
Like, I feel like this is most likely just gonna get bounced again. But I'm putting down the blade.
Deathblade Beetle, too.
He's so good! He's a double breaker for 5 mana! But I get a bad feeling he's getting spiral gated or something.
No, actually not. Send Poisonous Mushroom to mana. We may as well slap down another Bug Boy.
This is a lot of Bug Boys sitting right there.
I think we want to just go in, though. We need to, like, get our shield advantage going here. I could give you... Well, I mean, this is already going to get out of hand quick if I don't put pressure on you. Unicorn Fish is going in.
Alright.
Aqua Hulkus is going in.
Alright, no triggers so far.
I like to see that. Go ahead.
I'll draw a card.
You probably can't... You don't have enough mana to really answer too much of this board at once, I don't think.
I have a Granger, which helps.
That is true.
And we're gonna take out the Aqua Hulkus.
Alright.
And we're gonna see if this Granger does not get bounced.
Ripping the Unicorn Fish off the top does feel...
Oh my god,
pretty
no!
good.
Yeah,
Right,
that's pretty good.
that. And, I mean, I think we just go in at 2 shields here.
Let's see what happens. Oh my god, where are my triggers?
I think this was the one I played, but...
Yeah. Alright, you got it.
Alright, for the record, I did have Holy Awe in hand also, so the Unicorn...
Oh, yeah.
It turns out it didn't matter.
I think I'm gonna go first this time, though. I'm gonna put the Holy Awe to mana, and I'll end my turn.
That's fair.
Not exactly one that's gonna come in handy right now.
I'm gonna put the Holy Awe to mana, too. Go ahead.
Alright. I'm gonna put the Roaring Greathorn to mana. Go ahead.
Roaring Greathorn, okay.
Dude, he's so strong. He's the strongest card in the game.
We are going to send Bronze Arm Tribe to mana. You're going to play Poisonous Mushroom, and with Poisonous Mushroom's effect, we're gonna send Teleportation to mana.
Yikes. Okay, that's a little bit of pressure right now.
And go ahead.
Could be worse. I'm gonna put the Aqua Sniper to mana.
Aqua Sniper is a fun card. Okay, I'm definitely convinced these are different decks now.
Oh yeah, they're very different.
Okay.
I feel like you've got like the pressure build. I've got the like big creatures build.
Right.
We'll see what pays off. I don't know.
I hate doing this so much, but we're gonna send Aqua Hulkus to mana. And Unicorn Fish your Bronze Arm Tribe.
Yep.
Poisonous Mushrooms going in.
No triggers.
Go ahead.
Let's draw.
Don't know if that was the right play or not.
You've probably got more removal, but I think I need to just run out the blocker. You can bounce me. That's fine.
This is what I was afraid of.
Even if I build up blockers, though, I always am at the threat of getting teleportationed, and that doesn't feel too great.
Okay. I think we have to do this. Send another Aqua Hulkus to mana, and we'll run out Deathblade Beetle.
Okay.
And go ahead.
I'll draw.
Pray you don't have Holy Awe in hand.
I don't have Holy Awe, but I've got the Granger.
Okay, that's not great either.
But Holy Awe is pretty good against Deathblade Beetle.
We'll play a Bronze Arm Tribe.
And get a Bronze Arm Tribe.
Yeah, I guess. Go ahead.
I'll draw. Put that to mana. I think before this gets any uglier, I'm gonna Natural Snare your Deathblade Beetle.
Alright, that's not good.
And I'll end my turn. Before he gets a chance to double break.
Well, I guess we just play this. I mean, it's not doing a whole lot. But, go ahead. I will say it does feel decent knowing that, we're not threatening to, like, pick off my creatures with Death Smoke or whatever.
Yeah, that is true. I am just gonna run out my Bronze Arm Tribe and end of the turn.
Oh, I mean, we'll play Unicorn Fish. Bounce. I mean, it has to be the Granger, right?
Yeah, I think.
How could it possibly be anything else? Now if we go in, we can break 2 shields, but we're gonna lose 2 creatures in the process. Yeah, that's not worth it. Go ahead.
I'm gonna draw. Don't want Brain Serum. I'm gonna pay 8 mana for Aqua Sniper.
Alright.
And I'm gonna bounce, oh, it won't let me shift target. Oh, there it goes. Maybe? I'm just gonna bounce your Bronze Arm and your Poisonous Mushroom.
Alright.
They don't exactly have come into play effects that I'm too worried about right now, so we'll clean up some attackers that way.
This is an interesting decision. Yeah, okay. 3 for Bronze Arm Tribe.
Yep.
And then I like to see Emerald Grass go into the mana zone. Don't really care too much about that at this stage.
Yeah.
And we'll play the third Unicorn
How many of these do you
Fish.
have? Alright.
Bounce that. And I mean, I've got a blocker. I'm still gonna lose one of these no matter what. Yeah, Unicorn Fish will go in.
Okay. I guess. Well, it's a Spiral Gate. I'm gonna use it. I don't really want to bounce a Unicorn Fish.
Right.
So I think I just bounce the blocker.
Bounce the blocker, yeah.
Because then I can crash back with the Bronze Arm. I feel like that's the right play.
Well, the other Unicorn Fish is gonna go in too.
Yep.
And go ahead.
I will draw. I think we're just gonna do 1, 2, 3 for a Cenotine Jade Tree, 6 for the Grandgur. Aqua Sniper is gonna kill a Unicorn Fish, and Bronze Arm is gonna trade with a Unicorn Fish.
Yep.
Go ahead. Man, I forgot how bad bounce feels, like, back in the day. Like, I said bounce was gonna be good, but it hurts. I had to pay my mana again, and...
Oh, 3 for Bronze Arm Tribe.
Alright.
2 for... This is a May effect, right? Yes, okay. Poisonous Mushroom not using the effect.
Okay.
And 3 for the Cenotine Jade Tree.
Yep.
And go ahead.
Alright.
Go.
I will draw. Okay, we're gonna pay 4 mana for a Brain Serum. Get some cards up in here. And then we're gonna pay 6 mana for Holy Awe.
No, the one thing I couldn't deal with.
And we're gonna just go in and kill any 3 attackers, I suppose.
Sure.
I'm not worried about the speed attacker. No Bazagaziel dragons on my list of things to worry about.
Well, we will just pay 2 for Poisonous Mushroom, and is there really a reason? Maybe attacking is worth it here?
Yeah, I'm not sure, because you have to get through the wall at some point, but I don't know what else you have in your deck. I think it does get progressively harder.
I think we are gonna go in now.
Yeah, that feels like the right play to me.
Go ahead.
Alright. Aqua Hulkus to mana. We're gonna do 3, 4, 5 for Subskin, and then 6 for Grandgur.
That is a lot of big things.
Yeah, it is. Aqua Sniper is gonna try to kill Poisonous Mushroom.
It's gonna die anyways. I think I just let it go and keep the Jade Tree.
Yeah, probably. And then I'll end my turn.
We're gonna play Miel Vizier of Lightning and tap down one of your Grandgurs, which just gets me so much closer to being able to break through. And you can go ahead.
I'll draw. I do not need Ultimate Force anytime soon.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure. Alright, we're gonna run out an Aqua Hulkus to draw a card. And then we're gonna run out a Deathblade Beetle, and I'll end the turn.
Oh jeez. Alright, well, I think now is when we go for it. First, Poisonous Mushroom.
Oh
but,
no,
more importantly...
The Holy Awe, I'm an idiot!
We're gonna play Holy Awe.
I could've killed your guys, but I'm like, oh yeah, teleportation, I'm fine. I don't have to worry about that. Oh my god.
I had this in my opening hand, I think, for the record. I've been holding this for a while. I should've
killed the stuff!
Poisonous Mushroom is gonna go in.
Spiral Gate!
Oh,
yes!
No!
Yes! Bounce it! Get it out of here!
Go ahead.
Alright, I'm gonna draw. I mean, I'm just gonna do it now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna Holy Awe you.
Alright.
We're not gonna... I'm gonna use 3 blockers to just go and kill all your stuff. And there's no shield trigger creatures, notably, so I don't even care about going in right now.
Oh, so we are gonna play this one. The other
Yep.
one will go to hand, but it's a spiral gate. Okay, and because I moved the other shield to my hand, it screwed up the auto targeting.
Oh
But
yeah, that's fair. Yeah, like, do you want to try to get rid of a block?
we're actually gonna bounce the Deathblade Beetle.
Okay, that actually makes sense. We're gonna go in next with Aqua Hulkus
Okay. Yep.
and Aqua Sniper.
I mean, I guess we play this one too. We have Natural Snare. I don't know what I want to hit though. There's some like edge case where I actually think it's correct to try and hit one of the blockers, but
Yeah, that's an interesting one. To me, it feels like it makes the most sense to get rid of an attacker, because then you guarantee yourself another turn.
I think we're hitting the Aqua Sniper. There we go.
All right, and then yeah, that will be the end of my turn. And I have enough mana to play an invincible spell.
Oh my god, that is not something I expected to hear. So you can't actually kill me.
Yeah, not on my turn. There's no card exists that will get the win there, which is like so much different than the later sets. That's the thing, like base set, you don't like. That's one of the reasons why bounce is so powerful. They can't evo, they can't speed attack her.
Right.
So it's like the removal feels a lot like more permanent, even though it's temporary. If that makes sense.
Okay, well, Unicorn Fish the Granger.
Okay.
What I would give for a fish evolution right now.
Oh my god.
Right, and then we will run out Poisonous Mushroom, not use any effect. Then we will run out Emerald Grass.
Alright.
And go ahead.
I'm gonna draw. Yeah, we're gonna do 6 for the Holy Eye again.
Oh no.
And then we are going to run out the boy, Roaring Great Horde.
Okay.
So I'm gonna use the blockers, knowing that you can't shield trigger creature or speed attacker or anything. I'm gonna use the blockers to kill your guys, and then I'm gonna put you down to no shields.
Alright.
And I'll end the turn.
Teleportation off the top.
Please,
that
no
is
teleportation.
Not teleportation. Alright, you got it.
Oh yes! The Roaring Great Horde comes in clutch!
I think I'm gonna go first, though.
Yeah, that's gotta be the play, going first.
Yeah, so
Before
like,
I can set
the
up...
reason I originally... So, like, Deathblade Beetle will just, like, die to Death Smoke no matter what. But you're not playing Death Smoke, so
right.
It doesn't matter.
I have to wait. Well, I could Spiral Gate it, or wait until I could Root Trap it.
Right. But yeah, we'll send Emerald Grass to mana. Go ahead.
Yeah, I feel like you don't particularly need the blockers.
Yeah, seeing how this has gone, I maybe shouldn't have been running them at all. I kind of had plans of like using them with tap stuff to kill things, but in retrospect, I don't really know how realistic that is.
I mean, I could see it being pretty solid if I was playing more like low-end stuff, but I mean, my low-end stuff is Cenotine Jade Trees and
Alright,
things
well,
that don't
we'll
be just as strong.
Send Deathblade Beetle to mana. Play Poisonous Mushroom. Maybe we don't use the effect.
Yeah, like, I honestly don't even like using its effect when I go first, because then you just, like, run out of steam.
It's good, like, if you have specific things that you're gonna play into. Yeah, I think we're gonna end up sending this to mana anyways, almost for sure. So yeah, we'll send that to mana with Poisonous Mushroom. Go ahead.
Getting closer to, what's it called? Deathblade Beetle does sound pretty nice. We're gonna charge.
So like, if I had the other Deathblade Beetle in my hand, I would have snap done it, but I don't.
Yeah.
But like now, like if I draw another one, I can play it one turn sooner, which I think is the important thing. That's not a bad draw though. We'll send Aqua Hulkus to mana, and we'll play Aqua Hulkus.
Oh, okay, that's quite good.
Yeah, I think Poisonous Mushroom's going in.
Yeah, I think you definitely go in.
And go ahead.
It's not like you have to worry about Aqua Surfers coming down.
Yeah, that's true. God, and every time I played an aggressive deck in Progression Series, just every time without fail, the Aqua Surfers in like the first shield.
Yeah, and it just feels bad.
Okay, I can't believe we're doing this.
Oh no, this terrifies me.
We're sending Deathblade Beetle to mana.
Okay.
And we're playing Unicorn Fish.
Yeah.
Bouncing your Aqua Hulkus.
That's gotta be the right play.
So, like, I also thought about, like, playing Deathblade Beetle and like swinging anyways. But then like Natural Snare just feels so bad if you have it in the shields.
Even
I
like
think,
Spiral Gate too.
yeah. So like I think we just get as many creatures on board as possible and start going in.
Yep. Yep.
Like to see that. Go ahead. I will say, if I knew you didn't have triggers, I would have played the Beetle.
I mean, to be fair, I am running quite a lot of triggers. I think this is just hope you don't have the next bounce, but I don't like my odds.
Well, so the reason I played mana instead of just playing Unicorn Fish is because the last card in my hand is Natural Snare.
Oh.
So, like, by doing this, now I can remove your creature that you play. And that was my thought. Like, you're probably only going to be able to play one creature, no matter what. But send Holy Automana. I kind of wish I could have held on to that.
Yeah, I think it's worth it.
I think we just want to Natural Snare the blocker, go for game.
Because
realistically, we don't get it.
Yeah, even if I get the shield triggers, like, you still have creatures on board.
Right.
I still don't.
Yeah.
All right, this last one's got to be a winner. And it is not a winner. It is a Roaring Greathorn. The Unicorn Fish is too good.
Dude, Unicorn Fish is good in this format, I think.
Dude, I severely underestimated Unicorn Fish. To be fair, I wasn't expecting tempo. I was expecting more just like big guys. So let's compare these decks because we have the same colors.
What did you spin out of curiosity?
I spun Light Nature.
Okay, that's exactly what I spun too.
Oh my god.
If I spun like anything else, I would have played something like Dark Water Control, but I just couldn't do that because the spins didn't line up.
Yeah. So
this is what I came up with for Light Nature. I'm glad that we came up with like two very different decks.
So mine, like, I just couldn't last long enough pretty much, but my whole concept was like, if you're playing anything that's not coming at me, like, I just have the end game that's gonna win.
Right, yeah, no, the end, like, I mean, we saw that in game 2, right?
Yeah, like, that was the idea. That's what I'm trying to get to, but, like, Unicorn Fish is what just threw a wrench in everything.
Yeah.
Oh, so you did go with the 4 Deathblade Beetles.
Dude, yeah, I'm going for these. I had visions of like Bronze Arm Tribe into Deathblade Beetle, which is that's just like an insane curve.
Yeah, because like
the way these get, like, you've always got Unicorn Fishes in your head, like you don't even need double breakers.
Right. It's almost as good.
But like with some other draws, maybe I'm like not going in, and then I get Deathblade Beetle and something else, and then follow up with teleportation or something.
Now I'm just gonna say how satisfying this feels compared to the progression series, where we just have like these gigantic, like, we're putting the decks on the board, and it just goes across like the whole thing with like just random like one-ofs and stuff. Yeah. But now it's like, oh, look at that, you get like the actual sets of the natural snares, the Holy Aws.
Oh, for sure.
Even the super rares. So, like, realistically, is this matchup something that ever happened in a tournament in the history of Duel Masters?
Oh,
probably not.
No way.
But I think we did get to see a little bit of just, like, how powerful, like, random double breaking beat stakes are. And, like, the Deathblade Beetles are threatening. The Roaring Greathorn is tough to deal with. And, like, the Granger is hard to deal with, too. But then at the same time, we really showed how, like, bounce is nearly as good as regular removal.
In this format specifically, it might be, honestly.
Like, it really gets weakened only when you get, like, evolutions and speed attackers is when it feels a lot weaker. And then also, like, not even that, but just the fact that, like, if you clear the field to go in once, you're not worried about shield trigger creatures hitting the board. So, like, they can't really do anything on like any kind of crackback. So as long as you have a couple creatures, you Unicorn Fish, and then you can go in. It's so hard to come back with that. Even if that last game, if I had the Spiral Gates or the Natural Snares, it probably would have ended the same way because I wouldn't have had time to build up my board again.
Right, that's sort of like the idea with this deck. Like, I couldn't see your head, but like, based on how it went, and that's sort of typical with this type of deck. Like, you'll go in early and you'll have like 7 cards in your hand or whatever, but it doesn't even matter because like you only have mana to play 1 or 2 of them. Like, it doesn't even really matter because you can't actually use your card advantage for anything.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that was a fun duel anyways. I kind of wish we got a couple other colors in there, but...
I mean, at least it wasn't a mirror match.
Yeah, we got to show some things.
But yeah.
But yeah, we introduced the wheel to try to make it so there's not mirror matches, and we get one off the bat, but, you know, such is luck. Anyways,
Yes.
Next up in the history of Duel Masters, we move into, like, real tournaments, so we can show you guys a little bit more of real deck lists that you would have seen at an actual tournament back in 2005. We're gonna get evolutions, so we're gonna see like the Crystal Lancers are gonna be coming out, Fighter Dual Fangs, Armored Blaster Valdios,
Yeah,
even
that might
Chaos
make an
Worms are gonna
appearance.
be coming out.
Dude, Chaos Worm is actually quite good, even though we never used it in Progression series.
I wanted to so bad, but I only got 2 Horrid Worms, so... Alright, well, we're gonna wrap this one up. We're gonna catch you guys next week with Evo Crushionators of Doom. Peace!